When you lose everything, silence becomes its own language. That night, sitting alone in a motel room that reeked of bleach and broken hope, I finally learned how to speak it. The steady hum of the old air conditioner was the only sound left after she took the kids, the car, the last of my savings, and whatever shred of dignity cancer hadn't already drained from me. 3 years. That's how long I spent keeping her alive. 3 years of hospitals, overnight shifts, and a marriage stitched together by the fragile belief that love still meant something. It cost me $290,000, and what was left of my soul. When she beat cancer, I thought we had survived it together. But she came home, looked at me with the same eyes I once swore I'd die for, and said, "I want a real man now." Then she laughed. I'll never forget that sound. Not loud, but sharp, like glass cracking in the cold. That's when I realized the woman I loved had already died long before her body recovered. Her family, the same people who ignored my calls when I begged for help paying her chemo bills, suddenly reappeared, smiling, nodding, encouraging her decision. The divorce papers came with surgical precision. Half of what little I owned, full custody of our children. Her lawyer? The new real man. That night, I checked into the motel, room 17. 1 bed. 1 chair. 1 man with nothing left to lose. Then came the knock, soft, 2 taps, uncertain. I opened the door, expecting the manager or another sympathetic face. Instead, it was a woman I'd seen only once before, the hospital's billing officer. Her eyes carried the same exhausted sharpness mine did. "Mr. Calloway," she said quietly. "We need to talk." She stepped in like she'd rehearsed it, closed the door, and handed me a thin folder. Her hands trembled. Inside were photocopies, signatures, billing transfers, insurance forms. At the top, patient responsible party, John Calloway. Below that, a row of forged initials, my wife's. "She changed your insurance data," the woman said softly. "Moved everything into your name, so she wouldn't owe a cent when she walked away." It hit me like a second diagnosis. The debt wasn't mine, but she'd made sure it looked that way. The woman hesitated before adding, "You're not the first." I didn't sleep that night. Under the yellow motel light, I read every page until the paper edges felt warm in my fingers. Each forged signature, each transfer, a blueprint of betrayal. By dawn, grief had cooled into something sharper, precision. I started with patience. You can't destroy someone who expects your anger. You have to make them feel safe first. Predictable. So I called her. Told her I understood. Told her I was letting go. And she believed me. People like her always do when you stop fighting. For 6 months, I vanished. No calls. No texts. Just silence. But behind that silence, I was busy. I sold what little remained, old watches, tools, memories. Then I hired a forensic accountant, a quiet man who didn't ask questions. He traced the insurance money, the forged transfers, the fake charity donations made in her name to cover private treatments. Every trail led back to her and her lawyer lover. While they built their dream home together, I built a case. Quietly. Legally. Completely. When the accountant finished, I sent an anonymous report to the insurance fraud division. But that was only the beginning. I created a fake social account under her name, Ave_cares, where she posted recovery photos and heartfelt thank yous to the same community she had scammed. Then I timed the leak, her financial records, right as the investigation went public. By the time she realized what was happening, her reputation had already flipped from survivor to swindler. The media tore her apart. But that wasn't revenge. That was just the prelude. The real blow came 2 weeks later, in court. She'd filed a motion to increase child support, claiming I was hiding money. Her lawyer smirked at me across the table, the same grin from her hospital photos. When it was my turn, I slid a single USB drive across the table. "Exhibit C," I told the judge. Inside were her own voice notes, recordings I found on an old backup phone she'd left behind. Her laughing, mocking how I sold her ring, bragging that she earned every cent from the divorce. And the last one, her laughing with her lawyer, calling me her best investment. The courtroom went silent. Her lawyer froze. Her face turned pale. The judge delayed the hearing and ordered an investigation. A month later, the fraud report arrived, confirming everything. Forgery. Embezzlement. Perjury. Her real man lost his license. She lost custody. And the house they built together was seized. I didn't celebrate. I didn't even smile. Revenge isn't loud, it's quiet. Like justice closing a door softly behind you. When I finally saw my kids again, they ran to me. No lawyers. No paperwork. Just open arms. Their laughter didn't sound like hers. It sounded real. Now, every time I drive past that hospital, I think about what survival really costs. Sometimes, saving someone's life means losing your own. But if you wait long enough, if you listen closely through the silence, you can rebuild. She thought she buried me. But she forgot. Graves are where roots grow. And in the end, I didn't just reclaim what she stole. I reclaimed myself. That was the real cure.